substitute 0 for x, we're finding the y-intercept first. 4 times 0 minus 6y equals 24. I can't write right now. And go ahead and solve for y. So that cancels out, right? So you just end up with negative 6y equals 24. And you divide by negative 6. You get y equals negative 4. Please write your answer as a point. 0, comma, negative 4. That's your first point that you're going to graph. It only takes 2 points to make a line. So if we find both intercepts, we have 2 points and we can make a line. Now you're going to find the x-intercept. Substitute 0 for y. And then solve for x. So that'll be 4x equals 24. And if you divide by 4, we get 6. Write your answer as a point. 6, 0. So we have 2 points, which means that we can now make a line. And you probably noticed that there's no axes drawn on this graph. If that's the case, then you just have to draw your own in. So we're going to draw our own. So it's only going to go up to 6 and then to negative 4. So as long as I can go to negative 4 going down and 6 going right, it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in the middle because that should work. You're just drawing in your x and y axis. Just make sure it can go up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we should be good. You can label it if you want, x, y. And we are going to graph the 2 points that we just found. Our y-intercept and our x-intercept. Each square is worth 1 because we haven't said anything else otherwise. So just count over 6 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't want a highlighter. So that would be our x-intercept, right? And our y-intercept is 0 and negative 4, so down 4. To make a line, it says graph the 2 points and connect. Make sure you put it with arrows. So we connect the dots and we put arrows on either side because we were not just restricted in our domain. It's just a regular line. And lines go on forever unless it's like a word problem. So if you remember from yesterday, we talked about hoi vux, horizontal lines, have a slope of 0 and our y equals a number. So horizontal, 0, y equals a number. And vux was for vertical, VUX. Vertical are undefined and are always x equals some number. So you are supposed to write equations for vertical and horizontal lines. The vertical line equation should be x equals, because it's going to cut through the x-axis. What is your x value for this point? Negative 2. So your equation would just be x equals negative 2. If you want a vertical line that goes through that, it goes through the x value. So our horizontal line, can someone raise your hand and tell me what would my horizontal line equation have to be? Horizontal lines cut through the y-axis. What do you got, Jackson? Y equals 4. Because it's going to cross the y-axis at 4. That way it hits that point, negative 2, 4. I find that writing equations in standard form is actually one of the easier things that we do, just because you read it and it goes together exactly like it says. So there are 2 things in this problem that happen over and over. Keep that in mind. You are in charge of buying the hamburger and chicken for a party. You have $60 to spend. The hamburger costs $2 per pound and chicken is $3 per pound. So notice hamburger happens more than once because it's per pound, and so does chicken because that's also per pound. Write an equation that represents the different amounts of hamburger, X. So hamburger is X, and chicken, Y, that you can buy. All right. So it's $2 per pound of hamburger. Hamburger is X. We are totaling it up to our, how much we have to spend. How much do we have to spend?
60.
Okay, so it should be equal to 60. What am I going to add to this? Three Y. Because it's $2 for each pound of hamburger plus $3 for each pound of chicken equals our total amount that we have to spend, $60. That would be your equation. Like I said, it goes together exactly how it sounds. When it says all hamburger and no chicken, that would be when Y is equal to 0, because chicken is Y. And then all chicken, no hamburger would be when X is 0, because hamburger is X. So all you're doing is since you have standard form, you're going to find the intercepts and then graph those, and you should have your graph. So we're going to find X and Y intercept just like we've been doing, and that should give us our information. So let's start with the X intercept. I'll do your work out to the side. Make sure you leave room for both. Our equation is 2x plus 3y equals 60, so x-intercept would be when y is equal to 0. So 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 60. The 0 times 3 cancels out, and you're left with 2x equals 60. How do I get rid of the 2? Divide it. Goodbye. And you get x equals 30. And you write that as a point. 30, comma, 0. This is saying you have 30 pounds of hamburger and 0 pounds of chicken. And go ahead and find your y-intercept. If you can do it without me, then go right ahead. So that'd be x is 0.
How come it's not like 30?
All that, and you get y equals 20.
Why not?
And so you write it as a point. 0, 20. Skip 3 lines and make so you could go by 2, and if you did that on like a test, I'd take it. But you want to try and spread it out as far as you can. So since the highest you go up to is 30, you want to be really close to 30. So we're going to go 0, and then skip 3 lines and do 5. Skip 3 and do 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The highest you have to go is 30, and so this spreads it out as far as you can. So I skipped 3 and labeled 5, 10, 15, 20. Do the same thing for the y-axis. 20 still won't go up super high, but it's going to go up higher than it would if you had gone by 2s. So you do not have to label every single line. I would say as long as you're labeling so that you see your intercepts like on your scale, that's what you need. Graph our 2 points, but hold on a second. We have not labeled our x and y axis. What was x again in this problem?
30.
What does x stand for?
Hamburger.
Hamburger. So this is pounds of hamburger. You need to label that on your axis. Hamburger in LB, pounds. And likewise, the y-axis is chicken in pounds, LB. Sorry, I ran over my writing. And we probably should give it a title. What are we doing? We're buying food for a party. Let's label it that. The title is Buying Food for a Party.
This guy's gonna have a lot of people there, probably.
And now you just get to plot your x and y intercept. So plot 30, 0, which would be on the x-axis, right here, and 0, 20. Oh, that is not a very good straight line.
6 yards.
So what this is saying is that you can have up to 30 pounds of hamburger and up to 20 pounds of chicken. Will you please write that sentence? You can have up to 30 pounds hamburger. And then it's or, really, because you can't have both. Or up to 20 pounds of chicken. This point right here at 30 represents all hamburger and no chicken. This point at 20, last thing, this point at 20 represents all chicken and no hamburger because it's at 0 on those other values. Okay.